Hey, what's up? I'm Cody the Coin Raptor, and I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and crypto chart TA in today's video, and why I think we're at peak FOMO. But before we get to that, be sure to smash that subscribe button to see my latest content. I'm close to 100 subs, and it would make my day to reach that by next week. And be sure to leave a like if you like this content and would like to see more. So, first, I want to go ahead and talk about a quick definition of FOMO. So, what is FOMO? FOMO is the fear of missing out. Okay, it basically describes the feeling, the emotional feeling that you get when you felt like you've missed the bus or something's happening and everybody's doing it and you're the only person who's not doing it, or everyone's benefiting and you're not benefiting. And the reason why I want to talk about FOMO is because we have had quite possibly one of the biggest FOMO Bitcoin rallies that I have ever seen. And I've gone on Twitter, I've looked at Twitter, I've gone through some of the Twitter accounts on there, and a lot of the whales on Twitter right now are buying, they're bullish, they're calling for a 30,000, 40,000 Bitcoin, in a couple of weeks. And for me, I like to stay grounded. I am not going to be one of those people who calls for a massive move in the Bitcoin price overnight, because I am realistic and I like to stick to being realistic. And so that's why I have to talk to you guys today about FOMO and this FOMO rally we're experiencing right now. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin has gone up pretty dramatically in the past couple of weeks. Now, this has been due to a number of factors, primarily because of the price being depressed and the number of sellers that were tax loss harvesting at the end of the year. It pushed the price down significantly, and then we caught a massive Santa Claus rally all the way up here. And we are looking at basically going from 16,600 all the way up to where it is right now, 22,600. So we have come a massive way. And in fact, if you look at if you take a look at the monthly, you can kind of get an idea of just how strong a month this has been for Bitcoin. Right now, it's up over almost 37% in 1 month. Now, such a move isn't uncommon for Bitcoin. It's not. And in fact, it's happened many times. However, I want to go ahead and be the voice of reason here and say that based off of the indicators that I'm looking at, this is largely a FOMO-driven rally. And so I want to go ahead and take a look at the RSI, the daily RSI, which is something I always like to keep track of. And if we go ahead and we draw in this line here for the daily RSI, I put it here at about 78 because it found support here recently when it bounced off of that. If we look at the daily RSI at 78, and we go and we compare that to other times in Bitcoin's history when it has been this overbought, we come back here to January of 2021. And in January of 2021, what happened was it first started above this level at about the 29th of December, and then it went under that level at the 10th of January. So it had about 12 days or so above this level, okay? And what happened as soon as that level was crossed, as soon as it went under 78, the price went under massively. So what we have here is we have a top of 41,000 and a bottoming price here at about 30,000. Now, this bottoming price was bought up very quickly. This is the middle of a bull market, and investors were very quick to get into Bitcoin at the time. This right here that we're in right now is not a bull market. This is a bear market. And in a bear market, you can get some pretty extreme rallies. This is quite possibly one of the most extreme Bitcoin rallies I've ever seen in a bear market. And right now, what we have is an RSI that is pointing not even to just overbought, but extremely overbought. And the fact that it's hanging in that area for such a long time means that it's not sustainable, in my opinion. That's how I read the charts, read the data that's in front of me. This is an unsustainable rally. Now, what we could wind up seeing, and what would be entirely very healthy, is for Bitcoin to have a pullback, for it to pull back under, probably do like a retest here of 21,000, maybe in that region, or maybe a retest of about 20,000, have the RSI come down a little bit, and then continue its upwards trend. That would be very healthy for a normal Bitcoin market. But what is not healthy is seeing the price jump immediately and unceasingly without any sort of pullback. Because even if you look at the bull market in the past, you can see here that it wasn't just a straight line. There is some significant pullbacks on the way, all the way up here to the 2021 bull market. And so I want to come back to this idea of FOMO and the fact that investors right now are looking at this Bitcoin, they're looking at this Bitcoin price, and they're saying to themselves, well, I just missed the rally. Well, honestly, if you want to take a fair look at the market and not be biased towards one way or the other, you can see that this market is overheated. It is overheated. It is overcooked. There is going to be a pullback. So I am not buying any of this stuff because I personally don't believe that it's sustainable. But I will be buying on the way back down again if we get a nice little dip. Personally, I am not in any rush whatsoever to add to my Bitcoin position. My Bitcoin position is at a comfortable level in which I like it right now, and I'm waiting for that pullback on Bitcoin that will come eventually. Now, I want to talk about resistance here real quick. So many people who are buying today are actually buying right in the middle of this huge resistance band that I've marked out, 21,100 to 22,008. And so Bitcoin has almost pushed to the top of this first resistance band. This goes all the way up here to 22,008. And then above that, we have an even higher resistance band in which Bitcoin has not been able to cross. And all the time that we spent downtrending after the Terra Luna disaster and the massive losses that we saw at the beginning of the year, it has not been able to cross this threshold before. It attempted to do that back in August. It failed. And this right here at the top of this resistance band is where Bitcoin will eventually break out and will eventually lead to a new bull market. However, I don't think that that's in the cards right now. I don't think it's going to break out above this channel. And if you're buying, or if I was buying at this point, I would be buying directly in the middle of heavy resistance. So I am not buying this. I am waiting for a pullback. That way I'm not buying in the middle of this extremely heavy resistance. Now, another important thing that happened recently was that the crypto lender Genesis filed for bankruptcy. This is something I've talked about quite a bit on this channel, and this is something that is especially puzzling when you consider the fact that this right here is not a bullish headline for crypto. It is not a bullish headline for Bitcoin, and yet Bitcoin had a 7.5% rally today, which kind of shows you that things are a little bit out of sync with the Bitcoin price. All right, so Genesis filed for bankruptcy, and right now, I'm not entirely sure about what the contagion could be at that point, because as you guys know, Genesis is under what they call a DCG, or Digital Currency Group, and Digital Currency Group also happens to also have the Grayscale company in its portfolio as well, and Grayscale owns Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So I'm not 100% sure. There's a little bit of smoke there. I'm not saying that we're going to expect to see a big Bitcoin liquidation anytime in the future based on that, but that is a potential object that we need to think about in the future when it comes to the Bitcoin price. And if something changes about this, or if I get more information on this, I'll make sure to put a Twitter post, or I'll make a video about it and talk about that specifically. Now, if we take a look at the Bitcoin funding rate, and again, as a reminder, this is for our perpetual contracts. The Bitcoin funding rate, what it shows us is longs is an idea of the market sentiment, right? If it's green, longs are dominant. If it's red, that means shorts are dominant. And one thing I've noticed over the past couple of days, even though this has been a big FOMO rally, we have actually seen a pretty significant decrease in the funding rate. It has gone all the way here from the top, actually from a level that I previously described as 2021 worthy. And then going all the way down here, we can see there's a very clear downtrend to the funding rate. And so what that means is that longs are getting weaker as this rally goes on. I know it doesn't look like that based on the price, but just know that there are some whales that have been driving the price up significantly when it comes to Bitcoin. If we go take a look at the 1 minute, what we can see is we've had huge whale activity right here. This was 150 Bitcoin buy in 1 minute. That's a whale buying. There's another one here that's 46 and 107, so another $150, another 150 Bitcoin bought. That's another big whale buy. We come over here and we look at 72 and about 7, so about 80 total. That's another big whale buy, and whales have been pushing the price higher and higher and higher. This, however, I think is not really a strong indicator of organic demand. Whales are manipulating the price. They are moving the Bitcoin price higher. And as a reminder, I'm not personally bearish against Bitcoin. I am bullish long term, but I have to call it like I see it. And right now, what we're seeing is extreme whale manipulation in the Bitcoin price, and they're pushing it higher. And I do understand that whale manipulation goes both ways, both higher and lower as well. So that's also something to consider. Now, I want to go ahead and also talk really quick about the one of the most important Bitcoin whales, and that is the wallet, the largest private wallet, which is now Bitcoin whale number 4. Bitcoin whale number 4 has been very good at timing the market. They actually sold a significant, or they moved a significant amount of Bitcoin back in December, and they have not bought any Bitcoin since October, the October timeframe right here, or the November timeframe right here. That was the last time they bought Bitcoin, November. And so this is another example of somebody, or this wallet, I think, being a great indicator of where the market is right now. And this whale is looking at this market, and they're deciding that this is not a price that they want to pay for Bitcoin. And they're probably anticipating that it's going to go lower. Because if that was the case, they'd be buying right now, and they are not buying, and they are not adding to their position, and they are not doing anything. In fact, they did move a significant amount of Bitcoin back in December, but nothing has happened since then. All right, so let's pivot and go over to Ethereum here for a minute. So Ethereum is a little bit different than Bitcoin, and the reason for that is because Ethereum is just now filling this bowl that I've been talking about earlier. And this bowl is this resistance point at about 1656. It's at that right now. And the bowl started in the November FTX collapse, and we saw Bitcoin fill this bowl up here, in which we can take a look and look at this. It's actually come all the way back up here to the September highs, but Ethereum did not do that until just today, in which they filled this bowl. However, with Ethereum, it has to overcome this resistance level here at 1652, which currently has not. And then above that, what you're looking at is strong resistance here at almost 1800 for Ethereum. And just like with Ethereum, I do think that this is FOMO motivated. I do think that it's in the exact same situation as Bitcoin is, and I am not interested in buying any of this FOMO, and I will be waiting very patiently. Now, if you take a look at Binance Coin is kind of in a similar situation. However, Binance Coin tried to break out of this level at 314 before, and it came back down again, and then it retested the support here at 285, and then it's coming back up again to attempt to retest this level. And I do think it's going to retest that level. It's going to come back up here to 312, and it might get rejected at that level. That's something that we need to watch. But I think with the way things are going, Binance Coin is going to be trading within this range here from about 283 to about 312, and that's what's going to happen for a Binance Coin. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys are doing. Are you interested in buying this run up that we've had in Bitcoin or Ethereum? I'm very interested in seeing that. You know, are you guys bullish about this? Is this the start of the next bull market? Right? Leave a comment below, and I'll catch you in the next video.